Happy New Year to my friends and past customers. This is Danny Ross, You Save Realty. Anyway, what I'd like to discuss briefly with everyone tonight is about the three credit bureaus known as repositories. That's another word, fancy word for the credit bureaus. Um, what I want to discuss is one, what comprises the FICO scores? What makes up your FICO score that banks look at when you apply for a mortgage loan or car loan? I want to go over that. I want to also discuss how to avoid getting a 30-day late, 60-day late on your credit report. Also want to discuss how to negotiate with your creditors and get a settlement and possibly get these delinquent or bad credit ratings off your credit report. Again, once I'm done with this video, please email me at ross, rossdp54 at gmail.com, and I will send you a booklet which is published by HUD, which is Housing Urban Development, discussing the three credit bureaus and also explains how to get your credit score up, get a higher rating, how to negotiate with some of your creditors. And it's a very detailed booklet that I will send you, no obligation, for free, that will help you get your credit back on track. Again, please do not, I implore you, do not pay somebody who says they can fix your credit score, because first of all, it's illegal, can't be done by doing trickery or whatnot, or trying to, erase your credit report. The only way to get your credit fixed is, one, to pay your bills on time or renegotiate a past credit bad credit rating with a particular lender or particular, say, store, and I'll explain that to you. So let's start with that. Let's say, for instance, you owe $5,000-$6,000 to Sears, or possibly, say, a finance company, and it shows as a charge-off. That is terrible. That will drop your score 200-300 points. The scores range from 350 up to the highest, which is 850. How do banks look at those scores? Well, again, as I said, there's three credit bureaus: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Each one gives you a particular score. So let's say, just for an example, you have a 600, 650, and a 700 score, which is unlikely. They're going to usually be closer. I just want to illustrate and give you how they arrive at it. The bank will take what is known as your middle score. So if it's 600, 650, 700, the 650 will be your FICO score. That is your rating for getting a government or conventional loan or even a car loan, okay? So the three repositories known as credit bureaus, again, each have their basic credit scoring procedures, and they're pretty much all the same. They're pretty much going to use the same guidelines. But let's say hypothetically you owe Sears, say, $2,000 or $3,000. It got charged off. You didn't pay it. Boom! It's going to show off as a charge off. It's going to drop your score dramatically. My suggestion: save up some money, talk to Sears Collections, and say, hey, I owe this money. Can we settle for possibly 50 cents on the dollar? I know that sounds dramatic, but a lot of these banks or Sears or whoever are very grateful to get 50 cents on the dollar. However, is that going to help you? Yes and no. It depends on how you handle it. If you talk to the manager, say, of the collection department, make sure you ask for a letter in writing saying specifically, once this is paid off, this delinquent bill, that they will remove that derogatory credit rating, the I-9 installment, that's what I-9 is, installment charge-off. Remove it from your credit bureau. Don't give you a good rating. They're not going to do that. But at least remove the derogatory and show it gone. Because if you have an I-9 saying paid, it's not going to help you at all. Basically, just shows it's a charge-off has been paid. You want that removed. The only ace in the hole that you have that you're holding is that you're going to pay them money, okay, to essentially get that removed from the credit bureau. So in other words, you trade your money for that letter and ask them to remove it. They have the power to remove it from those three bureaus. If they do not remove it, as long as you have that letter in hand, then you can contact the three bureaus yourself with a copy of that letter. Within 30 days, that will be removed from your credit report. Now, it may not dramatically improve your score immediately, but over time, the tape turns every 30 days. And it's very feasible in 30 to 60 days, you'll see your credit score go up, maybe 30, 40, 50 points. So you can negotiate with banks, credit unions, whoever it may be, and get your charge-offs off your credit report by simply agreeing to pay them. Again, it may not be 50 cents on the dollar. It may be 60% or 70%. Or maybe you owe maybe $500 paid in full. It's extremely important. If you have metal collections, they are not a big factor when you are getting a loan. The lenders typically will not ask you to pay those off. But the downside is you can have 5 $100 collections medically. They will drop your score 200-300 points. So it's very important you get a hold of whoever you owe those medical bills to, get those taken care of. Okay, those you can negotiate with some hospitals, not as much as you're going to be able to negotiate with a credit card or a bank or a car loan that you owed in the past. Secondly, we all have hard times. You may have car repairs, medical, unforeseen car bills. If you know you're going to be late and you cannot make your payment on the first, as long as you make sure that that bill is in by the 30th of the month in the bank's hands, your creditor's hands by the 30th, it will never show as a 30-day late. Yes, you'll be penalized. You'll have a late payment. But always make sure if you can't pay on the first, house payment, bills, whatever the essentials are that you must pay, make sure that bill is in your creditor's hands by the 30th of the month. Your credit score will not be affected, I assure you, okay? Also, if you want, send me your email address. My email is ROSS for my last name, D for Danny, P for Paul, 54. Again, my email is rossdp54@gmail.com. I have a government booklet. It's about 10, 11 pages, very easy read, showing the addresses, phone numbers for the 3 credit bureaus. Again, if you do pay off a bill and you settle for 50 cents, whatever on the dollar, make sure before you send that, you have a copy, an email, a letter, something in writing stipulating, not that they're going to give you a good rating, but they will take that derogatory rating off your credit bureau. If they do not do it, then you can send that. I will have the addresses of all the 3 credit bureaus. You send a copy to each credit bureau and it will be removed. Also, any derogatory credit, most of you probably are aware of this, will come off your credit report within 7 years. If it does not, they try to go ahead and resell those outstanding charges to other collection agencies, and it looks like it's a fresh credit rating or a derogatory rating. Again, from the first day of reporting, derogatory. After 7 years, one day you get a hold of those three credit report agencies, it will automatically be taken off, but you must notify them. Your credit's very important. Most credit card companies will give you the score. For instance, I have a Discover bill. I get a bill at the end of the month that shows my credit score, and I'm not trying to brag, but my FICO score, believe it or not, is 850. That's the highest you can get. It's really important that your credit is like the Bible, man. It doesn't lie. You've got to have a good credit score, a minimum of 620 today to get an FHA loan. VA's tighten up their guidelines also, and they like to see 620. The average credit score in the United States is 650. Banks prefer to see your credit score before they give FHA 203B loans, acquisition loans. They like to see at least 620. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac like to see a minimum of 660 to get a really good interest rate. The higher your score, the better your rate. They like to see 700 and better. 720, 700 scores, you will get preferred interest rates when you purchase a house. Anyway, I hope this information has been informative to you. Contact me at my email and I will get that book out, no obligation. It's a very informative book explaining credit. And please do not pay anyone to fix your credit. It's against the law. Anyway, God bless. Hope this information is beneficial to you. If you have any more questions, call me 713-256-6780. I'll be more than happy to help you. Good night. Happy New Year.